Now, the president also is getting some brushback on government spending. I think he is now creating a debt commission. Ooh, so the president doesn't want to do his job, and he's going to hire other people to do it for him. And this debt commission consists, of course, it's bipartisan. So the president gets some liberals and a bunch of rhinos together to study this debt problem that the United States has. Now, I'm going to offer my solution to that in a second here, but I want to get this little clip from the president. This is from Special Report with Bret Baier on Fox News, because Bret Baier had the top two big dogs from this. Erskine Bowles, a former Democratic congressman, and Alan Thimpton, a former Republican rhino from Arizona. Catch the president's comments and their comments. Now pay attention, it goes by quick. Roll the tape.
I'm asking them to produce clear recommendations on how to cover the costs of all federal programs by 2015.
If we get the facts out there, if you look back in history, look at your Iraq Study Commission, most of those recommendations end up getting implemented. If the American people know the facts, they're pretty smart. They'll get it, and we'll get something done.
Well, critics are out there saying he's the president. He should do the recommendations, put them in the budget, and make it happen. Why do you need a commission to do that?
Because nobody will do anything. Why should he step over the cliff?
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid?
You bet. That's what the hell this is all about.
Everything's on the table.
We're not into foreign aid and waste, fraud, and abuse. That's a sparrow belch in the midst of this typhoon. That has nothing to do with it. That's peanuts. We're talking about Social Security. Cliff.
Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid?
You bet. That's what the hell this is all about.
Everything's on the table.
We're not into foreign aid and waste, fraud, and abuse. That's a sparrow belch in the midst of this typhoon.
Really? Now listen to that. Listen to that. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the Democrats really are going to go along with reforming. When do they ever go along with reforming those things? I mean, they think Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare are their gifts to the nation. That's what they think. Let me tell you what this debt commission is. This debt commission is nothing more than political cover for the Obama administration to propose tax hikes. Because here's what's going to happen. This debt commission is going to take a year, by the way, to study this. A year. I wonder if that's politically timed. Politically timed for this. What do you want to bet their report comes out in December? You know, late November? What do you want to bet that happens? Here's what they're going to do. They're going to talk about, well, there's some areas we can save some money on. There's some painful cuts. Oh, it's going to be really painful out there. And there might be some painful tax increases. But we're going to go back to the Bill Clinton. We're going to go back to, I worked as harder than I ever worked in my life, and I just can't do it without asking more of you. That's where this is headed. This is Obama's cover to raise taxes. This is his cover to say, well, we've studied it. I put together a bipartisan commission, and we have no other choice but to ask for more from the taxpayers. But that's the direction this is heading. Now, I've got a solution for you, Mr. President, and I'm going to say it again like I did last week because I know you're not smart enough to listen to me. Here's the solution. In 2006, this government spent $2.5 trillion. We are projected this year to spend $4 trillion. $4 trillion. Now, what happened between 2006 and 2010? The answer, the Democrats took over Congress and the presidency. That's what happened. So if you want to have a balanced budget, Mr. President, go back to the expenses, the outlays we had in 2006. There. Whammo. Problem solved. We don't need a commission. We don't need any your BS on raising taxes on people making more than $250,000. In other words, the people who create jobs and are entrepreneurs and bankers and everything. The economy won't work without those people who are now enemies of you. But that's what's going to have to happen. That is what's going to have to happen. Is we're going to have to go back. I mean, cutting spending, and again, the Democrats play little games with spending cuts. If something gets a 3% increase one year, and the next year it gets a 2% increase, the Democrats will run around and call that a 1% cut. So it's also a little numbers game that they're also going to play. Just look for this to happen, folks. Look for it to happen after the Democrats get their butts kicked in November. That's when this will come out under the guise of bipartisanship.